Good morning, Kasturians, and welcome to video 1 of chapter 1 of history, that is the French Revolution. In this video, we will see the French society and the outbreak of revolution. So let's start. The chapter starts with the demolition of the fortress prison Bastille. It was on 14th July 1789 that in Paris some 7,000 people they gathered in front of the town hall and they formed a people's militia. They started entering into government buildings to search for arms, and finally some people they entered into the fortress prison Bastille and they stormed it, and they tried to find the hoarded ammunition which according to rumors the king has put in the fortress prison, which were to be used by the soldiers on the common people as soon as the king passes the order. The Bastille was stormed and the people they took even small crumbs of the Bastille as a savior to keep it as a remembrance of the day. Now, why it happened that the people, the common people who are considered to be peaceful, they broke into government buildings, they started searching for hoarded ammunition, and what made the common peaceful people to become organized into a militia. So let's see the reasons for the same. Basically, it was the revolt of the people, and when we see history, every revolt has some reasons, some causes. What are the causes of revolt? So here also in the French society there were social causes, political causes, and economic causes of the revolt. When we talk about social causes, what were the reasons why the people, the entire society in fact, was against the king? So let us see. The French society during the late 18th century was divided into three estates or three groups which were known as estates, and these were namely the clergy, the nobility, and the third estate that comprised of different low class people as well as the professionals. The clergy being placed at the first position refers to the officials who belonged to church. They were given lands, they were having their own lands which were granted by the king. Then the nobles, obviously the people belonging to the royal household, they are excluded, and apart from those, the people who are associated with the crown, that is the ministers, the administrators, and their families, they were all considered to be nobles that formed the second estate. And in the third estate, so the third estate comprised of businessmen, merchants, officials working on low posts in the court, the lawyers, that is they were professionals, and apart from these professionals, the peasants and artisans, the small peasants, the landless laborers, and servants. Together they all constituted the third estate. The third estate, out of the total population, 90% of the population was belonging to the third estate, whereas the remaining 10% population was of the clergy and the nobility. When we see the crown, that is the king, so let's have a look at the throne. It was the Bourbon dynasty who was ruling France, and Louis XVI belonging to Bourbon dynasty. He ascended the throne in 1774. He was married to an Austrian princess whose name was Marie Antoinette, and when Louis XVI of the Bourbon family he ascended the throne, he found an empty treasure. Now, what were the reasons for this empty treasure? Let us see. The treasure was empty because France was involved in war, and it was not for 1 or 2 years but long years of war. And as we know, war not only claims lives but it affects the economy also. So these long years of wars, they have drained the resources of France. Second reason was maintaining an extravagant court. There were more officials as what was required just to show the lavishness of the French crown. A extravagant court was maintained, and this extravagant court, maintaining such a extravagant court, was creating economic crisis, and that's why the treasure was empty. And the third reason was that France, it helped 13 American colonies to gain independence. But from whom? To gain independence from the French enemy, that is the Britain. And in this way, these three reasons primarily were responsible for the empty treasure which Louis XVI got in 1774 when he ascended the throne. Also, like I told you that the society was divided into the three estates, that is the clergy at number 1 position, the nobility at position 2, and the peasants at position 3. So out of these three estates, one more social system was prevailing, that is the feudal privileges. The first two estates, that is the clergy and the nobility, they were enjoying a feudal privilege, that is they were exempted from paying any taxes to the state, that is to the crown. So they were not paying any tax to the crown. Also, they were owners of large land holdings. So whatever was produced was kept by these only, it was not reaching the crown. These two estates, although the king has imposed so many taxes, whether directly or indirectly, and the state was getting those taxes, but apart from the king, these two estates, that is the clergy and nobility, they also were involved in extracting tax from the peasants or the people of the third estate, and the tax demanded by the clergy was tithe, which was equal to 1/10 of the total produce of the land. Apart from the clergy, the nobility also was involved in tax collection, and the tax which was collected by the state itself directly was tally. Apart from tithe and tally, so many direct taxes were imposed on goods of necessity, that is since we are studying European history, so in European history the people, they consider salt as well as tobacco, these were considered to be the necessary things. So the state has imposed tax duty on salt as well as tobacco, that is the two necessary things which every person, that is poor or rich, they had to consume. This is all we have in this video. In the next video we will see the subsistence crisis, that is the struggle to survive, and how the people, what other reasons shaped people's opinion and they stormed into fortress prison Bastille. Till then, thank you, have a nice day.